Good morning. You know, every so often I forget. And I am getting older, and so I forget a lot of stuff. But every so often I forget that God keeps his promises. Every so often I forget that even though it might not look like prayers are being answered, even though it might not look like promises are being kept, I forget all of the years of prayers and answers that God has been faithful to give me so far. And so I lose sight of his faithfulness, and then I forget that he's a promise keeper. He keeps his promises. And so today, this week, as we go into our week, I want to ask you, do you forget that God is faithful? Like I do. And I want to encourage you, God is faithful. What you've prayed for, he has heard. What you've asked for, he has plans about. And he is good. He is good. Everything's been coming up 7s and 11s around here. So Matthew chapter 7, 7 through 11. Ask and the gift is yours. Seek and you will discover. Knock and the door will be open. And Charles Stanley always said, ask and keep asking. Knock and keep knocking. Seek and keep seeking. Keep on, keep on. Don't lose heart. Don't lose faith. Don't let your hope be deferred and your heart become sick. Don't do that. God has heard your prayers, and he continues to hear your prayers. Don't give up the prayer, because the promise is yours. He keeps his promises. And as you pray, as you remind him of his promises, you remind yourself of his faithfulness, that he's good on his word. And the rest of the passage, and I'm reading from the Passion Translation, which I love. For every persistent one will get what he asks for. Every persistent seeker will discover what he longs for. And everyone who knocks persistently will one day find an open door. Do you know of any parent who would give his hungry child who asked for food a plate of rocks instead? Or when he asked for a piece of fish, do you know any parent that would give his child a snake instead? If you, imperfect as you are, know how to lovingly take care of your children and give them what's best, how much more ready is your Heavenly Father to give wonderful gifts to you, to those who ask him? Now, I'm going to throw a disclaimer on this, because maybe your kids want to eat chocolate milkshakes for breakfast, lunch, and dinner 7 days a week. And they ask and they persist and they whine and they cry and they beg, and you know what's best for them. So you love them. You're not going to give them chocolate milkshakes every day for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. And sometimes to them, sometimes to the child, sometimes to me, the child of God, that feels ouchy. I didn't get what I wanted. No, but you got what was better. Because he knows. God knows. And he is in the process of doing more than we could ask or imagine. Ephesians 3:20. More than we could ask Ask and keep asking, knock and keep knocking, seek and keep seeking, not in that order. He's going to give you more, better than you can imagine. So you imagine for yourself milkshakes for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. But he gives you the most sumptuous, scrumptious, scrumptious, tasty, nutritious meal. Heavenly. And you thought that just getting those milkshakes would be awesome. And yet he gives you a spread that's nutritious, and he tops it off with a milkshake for dessert. God knows what's best. He loves you most. And as you ask, as you seek, as you knock, he answers you with gifts that are beyond your imagination. So this week, don't lose hope. He's got this. He's a man of his word. He keeps his promises. And they are so much bigger than you can imagine. It's going to be a great day. Have a great week.